Hey there, welcome to our July 2020 Real Numbers Budget Update. Life in July was a little crazy for our family. We went from laying low in quarantine, literally not going anywhere, to having 2 scheduled surgeries and 1 emergency room visit in July, along with all the associated doctor visits. And even aside from that excitement, most of which hasn't even hit the budget yet, July was a fairly expensive month.
Yeah, we spent way more on groceries than we normally do, and that's because we're trying to get our long-term and our short-term food storage back to where we want it to be. But we also bought another chest freezer, and Stephanie got a new cell phone, and we bought 2 computers, and we had our highest electric bill and water bill of the year, or maybe ever even.
We'll give you all the details in just a second. If you're new here, I should introduce us. I'm Stephanie, and this is Mike. We're from sixfiguresunder.com. We have been sharing our family's real numbers budget online over at Six Figures Under for almost 7 years. We share what we actually earned, what we spent in each of our budget categories, and how we're doing on our goals. Our finances have changed dramatically over these past 7 years, but we hope whatever stage you're in, that it's helpful to see what a real family is like on a regular working budget. There's not one right way to do it, so if your budget looks different, that's completely fine. In fact, it would be really weird if your budget looked the same.
Another reason that we want to be transparent about this is to help remove the scary from talking about money. Money talk shouldn't be taboo. Honestly, your self-worth shouldn't have no tie to your net worth at all. Your value as a person has nothing to do with how much money you make, and personal finance doesn't have to mean private or secret. It just means that you are the one who gets to choose what to do with your money. It's a personal decision.
Don't be afraid to talk about money, no matter how big or small the numbers are or how they compare to anyone else's. With money talk being practically taboo, so many people never really learn how to manage their money. So we don't want that to be you.
So let's jump right into the numbers. We have our YNAB budget up here for July of 2020. YNAB is the tool we've used for years to keep track of our money, what we earn, what we spend, what we're saving on things, and we love it. We'll go ahead and skip the income right now and move on to what we spend. We'll talk about the income at the end because the income is actually what we earned in July, while what we're spending is what we earned in June. We live on last month's income. And so during July, all the money we spent, we earned in June. All the money we earned in July, we actually spend in August. So that way we have kind of a 1-month buffer, knowing exactly how much money we have at the beginning of each month. So skipping income, we'll move right down to the first categories in spending. Starting with giving, each month we pay a 10% tithe, and we also make a donation to help take care of folks who need some extra help around our area. Sometimes we have other giving, but this month we didn't, so we just have $12.84 for tithing and $100 for fast offerings.
Okay, and our monthly bills. Most of these are pretty standard. Some of them vary by month to month. Our mortgage, this is our 15-year mortgage on our house here in Northern California. We pay $2,836. That includes the property tax, the principal, the interest, the homeowner's insurance, all of that.
And just a note on mortgages, the other day I saw an advertisement for a 2.25% mortgage, 15-year mortgage. That is ridiculously low. That's as low as it's ever been in recorded mortgage history, I think. And if you have a mortgage and you're paying 3% or 4% or you haven't looked at it for a while, as long as you've got stable income, this is a great time to refi. Sometimes there's some upfront costs, sometimes you can get a no-cost refi. But either way, if you can drop your percentage by 1% or even 0.5%, that's money in your pocket every single month for the entire life of your mortgage, one of the biggest expenses you'll ever have. So, just a plug.
It's definitely worth crunching the numbers.
It's worth spending a little bit of time to see if it makes sense for you to get extra money in your pocket every month.
Okay, yeah, that's so true. Okay, electricity. This was probably our most expensive. I didn't go back and look at other months, but it's rarely in the 400s, and this month it was $422. We, of course, have our Airbnb rental that's on our same electricity meter, and our house is all electric. We don't have any gas. Anyway, that's a lot. Okay, car insurance. This one looks really low because we took one of our cars off the insurance and unregistered it. So this car insurance is prorated. It'll go back up to what it will normally be next month. Internet, $70 a month. Water, we get our bill every other month, and we just try to estimate what half of it will be. This time we did great. Last month we put $120 aside, and the bill came to $241, so we put $121 toward it. This month we are watering our big garden, so that will probably go up even more next month. Trash comes every other month. Well, they come every week, but the bill comes every other month. So $37 a month. Okay, cell phones. This looks really big this month because I got a new phone. I got a phone with Visible. For years, we've had Republic Wireless, and it works great over Wi-Fi, but the problem is here in California, when it's fire season, sometimes they cut off our electricity for days at a time. And without electricity, we don't have Wi-Fi, and then I can't use my phone because we don't have cell service for Republic Wireless here.
Republic Wireless uses Sprint and T-Mobile. Neither of those reach our home. The only carrier that does actually reach our home with signal is Verizon.
So we were really excited that Visible uses Verizon, and we get a great signal at our house, and so we switched over, and there was a rebate with my new phone, so I'll get $200 back in 2 months, I think. So I'm just floating this here. Since we're a month ahead, I'm fine with having this overspending here because it's just going to come back in 2 months.
And the Visible phone, Visible is actually owned by Verizon. They use the 4G LTE network that Verizon has. And with $25 a month, you can get unlimited data and unlimited Wi-Fi calling. We'll use that when the Wi-Fi goes out because the power's out or because we're somewhere where there's no Wi-Fi. We've got Verizon. And for about $250 more a month over Republic, it's nice to have the security of knowing that we have a phone that will work in the home.
But depending on where you live, either of those carriers are great, affordable cell phone plans. Okay, we also have a home, we call it home phone, but it's really a voice over IP phone that Mike uses when he's working at home. Orthodontist, $61. Our oldest has braces. She also takes piano lessons. That's $110 a month. And disability insurance for $151 a month.
This is something we kicked around for several years before we actually bit the bullet and decided to get a policy. But what this does basically is it insures about 65% of my income. The way the taxes work, it's a little bit more than that. It's about 70%. But if I should become disabled where I couldn't be an attorney anymore, then this will pay for the rest of my life about 65-70% of the income I'm making now. And because our income potential right now is our greatest financial asset, we thought we should do something to protect that should something terrible happen and I not be able to work anymore.
Okay, down to everyday expenses. Food was kind of off the charts this month.
We normally spend on a normal month about $500 a month. That's
and
kind
we
of
have
our
a family of 8 for those who are new here.
But because we didn't spend anything, or we spent very little for 3 months during the beginning of the shelter-in-place time, we really bought nothing or very little because we were testing out our food storage, seeing how it would work. So instead of buying things we ate out of our pantry and out of our freezer and out of the storage in our garage, we're replenishing all of that. So besides just buying our normal groceries for the month, we're also buying some long-term things. And so that number went up quite a bit.
I'm really enjoying getting our food storage restocked and getting some new things and just bulking it up. So.
And organizing it. Stephanie loves to organize it.
Okay, household. This was more expensive because
it included a chest freezer.
That's right.
Which we don't normally buy in a month. What we found during our food storage challenge was some things are great just straight out of the pantry, and some things are great out of a can, but there's a lot of really good food that you can keep almost fresh in a freezer.
Cheese, basically. We wanted more cheese.
Well, that was one of the big things there.
More cheese and ice cream, so we needed another freezer. But Sam's Club has 7 cubic foot freezers, which is the same as our old one, for like $200. Sometimes they're even cheaper on sale, but $200 for a freezer is great. I'll leave a link below if you're in the market. But we just felt really blessed that they were available because I hear they've been selling out really fast. So we're glad to have another one.
And especially with the additional garden produce we expect this year, we wanted a place to put it and keep it where we weren't going to just consume it right away because we hope to have way more than we can eat.
Yeah. Okay, fuel. We spent $123. This is beautiful. When Mike was commuting, we were spending $400, $500 a month on gas, so this looks great to us.
Yeah, we'll keep that going for a while.
Yeah. Clothing, $143. I had some ThreadUp credit that I used and it went over the credit, just $1.43. Animals, normally we're buying food for we have 2 dogs, some cats, and some chickens. But we stocked up on animal food in the last couple of months, so we didn't buy any this month, but we did buy clippers for our dogs that needed a trim.
We're going to try at-home haircuts with them, see if the clippers are good enough to take care of our Australian Shepherds.
We figure if we're doing our own hair at home, then we may as well do the animals too.
You notice there's a little change up in these last categories. Kids' activities in school is $0. Our allowance is standard. That goes up a little bit as the kids get older because it's age-based. But we have a new category, homeschool, that takes up everything we would have put into the kids' activities school, plus a little more. Because of the continued uncertainty with schooling here, we've just decided that this year we're going to keep the 4 kids who are in school home for school, which means that we bought 2 more Chromebooks. We have one that we used and kind of shared around last year as we were in remote schooling, but we have 3 so that each of them have a Chromebook they can work with, plus one we'll share with the youngest who's just going to be in kindergarten. And
we'll be adding some more to this category because I'm getting curriculum and everything, but $578 is what we spent for the computers this month.
I am just thankful that Stephanie is a great teacher and willing to do it because
we'll see.
It's going to be awesome.
Okay, sinking funds. These are funds where we add money every month and it just accrues over here until we need to use it. These are things, because when you have a car repair or a big hospital bill, these aren't things that you usually plan for in a normal month. So we save for them every month so that when they come up, they're not shocking.
We did have some medical expenses, like Stephanie mentioned. There was an ER visit and a couple of scheduled surgeries. Part of that was paid up front, which is the $851 that went out. We put $400 in because we do that every month. And if we do that every month, we can really meet our max out-of-pocket for the family for the year. That way we can't be surprised by an expense that we can't meet at some point.
So we should have some bills rolling in here soon
And we'll use the remaining balance to take care of those and keep adding to it each month to make sure we're covered. Car repair, we didn't have any repairs this month, so we didn't spend anything. We haven't for a while, actually. We're not driving the cars very much, but because we know they will happen, we've got $300 a month going into that. There's a $4,000 balance right now.
And I think we should pause that and just keep it at $4,000 while we're not driving very much, not using anything.
There's no reason to just keep adding to that when we don't need it. That's a nice thing about sinking funds. You can treat them as you need to. Christmas, for example, we put $100 in each month. That's $1,200 for the year. But we don't have to hurry and get it all in October, November when the Christmas sales come along. So we put $100 in. We've got $600 left in there. For life insurance, as long as we put $75 a month in, that covers both of our life insurance policies when they come due in November.
Birthday and gifts, we put about $40 a month. We spent about $26 this month, and there's $242 sitting there. For car registration and smog, we also put $40 a month. Right now, there's $461. We didn't have any registration due or anything right now, but
I think we may be oversaving there just a little bit. So next time we have registration due, we'll go through and adjust that, I think. We didn't add anything to the Family Fun Fund. We had plenty of fun, though. Don't worry about us.
We actually kind of spent this money at the beginning of the year when we signed up for swim team for our 3 older kids, but then that got canceled and this got refunded, so we're planning some fun trips this next year. I mean, like road trips, not anything extravagant, but I'm sure that will come in handy then.
We had been saving for a new commuter car for me since mine was totaled earlier this year in a collision with a deer. I've been driving our second van, only I haven't really been driving it at all for the last few months, and so we're pausing. We unregistered it, we took it off insurance. We're pausing saving for a new car because I'm not sure how long it will be before we actually need 2 cars. For now, we're just enjoying being a 1-car family and not even using the 1 car very much.
We've been throwing around the idea of stopping our car fund for a while, but then this month when we needed the money for the computers, we thought, well, this is a perfect time to pause our contributions to our car fund and use that money to get the homeschool computers.
Which is a great example of how a budget is just about your personal priorities. Really, we
move money around.
We cared more about homeschool than we did about getting a new car this month, and so we changed the priority.
Okay, home projects. This is back to the garden.
We put in some new garden gates and got a few more things for the garden, including a drip irrigation system that will make it easier to take care of and hopefully get better produce out of it. There will be a few more expenses in the garden, but hopefully not a lot until we start building new beds and filling out fruit trees and things like that at end of this year.
So this preparedness category, this was where we put money during our quarantine food storage challenge and then use that after we stopped that challenge to go buy more food and restock everything. So we didn't really use this category, but there was $3.95 left in there, so I just subtracted that out. In the future, I think we will use this category, though, and put some money aside to buy bulk foods and things like that.
As far as investing goes, we have 529 plans. That's the college savings plan. For 5 of the kids, we need to add the youngest still. And it's not a whole lot. It's $25 a month for each of them, but that's something they'll have to get started when they have their own college expenses to worry about. We also have $500 a month that goes into Stephanie's IRA, and if we do that, then she reaches her $6,000 limit for the year. The market goes up, the market goes down. It's been going up for a while. I expect it might go down soon, and we just keep putting money in because we'll let it dollar cost average on its way out.
Okay, for tax, we've got our $90 a month that we pay for our tax preparation and planning plan. And self-employment taxes. This was something that I had taken out of my blog earnings at the beginning of the year. But when we did our taxes this year, we realized that what we have withheld from Mike's paycheck at work is enough to cover those expenses right now. So I just subtracted this out and used that in the budget this month.
Finally, our big goal of paying off the mortgage early. We've been saving money during the pandemic time because we're just want to have some cash on hand as a buffer. Who knows what might happen. So we've got about $10,000 of balance in there. But we wanted to put something in and actually knock down the balance of the mortgage a little bit. So we put an extra $2,400 on top of our normal mortgage payment toward the mortgage. We still have $10,000 extra that we were holding to put into that mortgage extra payment, but we're just holding on to it because we're unsure what's going to happen in the next few months or year or so.
Okay, and so now for our earnings, when we get paychecks or money during the month, we put it in this category so it just builds up right here. And then we will subtract this all out here and send it to the to be budgeted for August and budget that. So if you click on this, you can see there's some blogging income, some Airbnb, and then Mike's pay from the state.
And that's money that we will spend in August. And next month, when we do our August report, we'll show you how we spent it.
Yeah, I just love knowing exactly how much we have to budget for that month. There's no wondering or hoping or planning it before it's there. This is real money that we actually already have in the bank, and we just know exactly how much we can spend in August. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them below and leave a comment and let us know how your budgeting went for July. We'd love to hear. Have a good one.